The tragic death of Valeria Marquez, a 23-year-old Mexican beauty influencer, occurred on May 13th during a TikTok live stream at her salon, Blossom the Beauty Lounge, in Zapopan, Jalisco. The event, which happened in front of her followers in real time, has sparked outrage both domestically and internationally, drawing attention to the dangers that Mexican women confront and the widespread problem of gender-based violence. In today's video, we will dig into the case of TikToker Valeria Marquez being killed during her live stream. A rising star silenced too soon. There was more to Valeria Marquez than influence. She was a young businesswoman who ran Blossom the Beauty Lounge, a salon where she showed off her makeup artistry, beauty advice, and self-care practices to her expanding following of more than 200,000 TikTok followers. She had established herself as a voice for young women navigating beauty, style, and enterprise in contemporary Mexico, and her social media presence was based on optimism and self-assurance. Marquez was seen on the live stream just minutes before she passed away, looking nervous, clutching a teddy animal for solace, and even saying that she felt in danger. The terrifying events were shown to viewers when a man who was purportedly posing as a delivery driver entered the salon, inquired if the woman was Valeria, and then shot her twice, once in the head and once in the chest. She passed away right away. The execution-style killing and investigation. The assailant, who is thought to have arrived earlier on a motorcycle with a companion to verify her identity, fled quickly, investigating the murder as a potential femicide, a legal word in Mexico that refers to the killing of a woman because of her gender. The authorities promptly opened a homicide investigation. However, local law enforcement has come under fire for its sluggish efforts and opaque public updates. Rumors connecting Marquez to organized crime figures have been stoked by several media outlets, which has further complicated the case. She was accused of having a romantic relationship with a well-known cartel commander. Nevertheless, there is no confirmed proof to back up these allegations, and many people think that these narratives are just used to place the blame on the victim, a far too regular practice in Mexican instances involving female victims. In an effort to uncover a wider network of criminal violence, the Jalisco prosecutor's office has acknowledged that it is also looking into any connections between Marquez's murder and the earlier that same day shooting of a former federal congressman in Guadalajara, the role of victim blaming and gender violence in Mexico. Unfortunately, victim blaming swiftly dominated the public and media response. Much of the discussion focused on hypothetical connections to criminal groups, casting doubt on Marquez's relationships, lifestyle, and decision to be active on social media, rather than the tragic loss of a young woman's life. Human rights advocates and feminist organizations have denounced this pattern, claiming that these narratives help normalize gender-based violence. Mexico has been dealing with a femicide epidemic for a long time. 10 women are slain in the nation on average every day, according to national data. However, impunity is still widespread, and many of these crimes are not adequately probed. Social media has become a double-edged sword for women, drawing unwelcome attention, abuse, and threats whilst being a potent instrument for self-expression. With more than 900 homicides recorded in the last 6 months alone, Jalisco, the state where Marquez lived and worked, is among the most deadly in Mexico. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, one of the most deadly organizations in the nation, is based there as well. Influencers in these fields are often targeted, particularly if their prominence could reveal or conflict with strong criminal interests. Digital fame and real-world risks. Influencers like Valeria Marquez operate in a realm where digital prominence can breed both awe and peril in the era of social media. Because their lives are frequently staged for the public to see, they are vulnerable to both online and offline dangers. The risks are much greater for young women living in patriarchal and violent areas. In recent years, other Mexican women influencers have also been singled out. For example, in 2024, 2 influencers from Sinaloa were killed in a matter of weeks under questionable circumstances. Some were accused of having connections to cartel members, while others were just victims of being too independent, too conspicuous, or too vocal. Users who feel intimidated have few options for support on social media sites like Instagram and TikTok. Despite the existence of safety measures like comment moderation and blocking, they are unable to stop physical damage, particularly when threats manifest in the real world. Despite feeling uncomfortable, Marquez apparently had not lodged a formal complaint with authorities, perhaps out of mistrust for law enforcement or fear of reprisals. A national and international outcry. The hashtag #Justicia para Valeria went viral on social media for days as people from all around Latin America expressed their sorrow and indignation. Mexico's first female president, President Claudia Sheinbaum, publicly denounced the murder and promised to assist with the inquiry. Critics counter that symbolic gestures are insufficient. Numerous people call for structural changes such as better protection for women in public life, accountability for law enforcement agencies, stronger digital safety measures, comprehensive education campaigns on gender equality, funeral and aftermath. In a private service that was attended by friends, family, and supporters, Valeria Marquez was laid to rest. There were flowers and condolence and love notes all around her casket. The fact that police attended the funeral highlighted the ongoing worries about her safety and possible threats to others who knew her. Although her family has mostly kept quiet, they did release a statement calling on law enforcement to apprehend her killers and break the cycle of violence against women. Conclusion: remembering Valeria Marquez. The tale of Valeria Marquez is one of aspiration, tenacity, and eventually unspeakable sorrow. She was a young woman who had the courage to forge her own path, dream big, and share her adventure with the world. The fact that she was brutally murdered in front of her audience serves as a reminder of just how far the violence epidemic has progressed. However, Valeria's death should not be the main aspect of her legacy. She ought to be honored for the life she led and the discussions her passing compelled the world to have. The battle for justice, not only for herself, but also for innumerable women whose lives are at danger just for being in public, both online and offline, is now her legacy. Hope this video was informative and added value to your thoughts. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel.